Welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Entitled Parents Reddit video. In our first story, sell your property to someone who isn't my daughter, I'll get you expelled. Let's jump right in. When I was in university, I bought myself a longboard to get around campus. A lot of the students were doing it and I thought it would be easy. Well, after a few falls, I changed my mind and switched to a bike. I figured that if I wasn't going to be using it, I might as well sell it to someone who would. I posted it on Facebook Marketplace at a good price and had a few people interested right away. The first person to contact me was happy to meet my price and available to meet right away. I updated the listing to pending offer and drove out to meet the buyer. She liked the board and purchased it with no bargaining. When I got home, I had a message from a high school girl asking if it was still available. Sorry, no, someone just bought it. No, you have to go get it back. I love this longboard. It's perfect for me. Sorry, it's sold. I am no longer the owner. I don't have it. Ask for it back. Tell the buyer that you changed your mind. Offer $20 for their trouble and I'll up the price. I just wanted to end the argument, so I said I'd follow up with the new owner and ask them if they would be interested in selling it to the high schooler for a little more. I contacted the buyer to let her know that someone was inquiring about the longboard and was willing to pay a little more. I asked her if she'd like the contact details in case she wanted to make an easy $20. The new owner thought about it and said no, she wasn't interested. Fair enough. So I contacted the high school girl to let her know that I checked with the new owner and that they were not interested in selling. This is your fault. I feel like you've just kicked me in the gut. You're a terrible person. I was in the mood for further chatting and blocked her email. Fast forward 1 week and I had an email from the high school girl's mother. My daughter tells me that you promised to sell her a longboard but changed your mind and sold it to someone else. That's unacceptable. Nope, your daughter asked me if I could sell her a longboard after I had already sold it to someone else. The posting noted that it was pending pickup when your daughter reached out to me. Sorry for the confusion. No. You will get my daughter that longboard. You're going to compensate her for the pain and suffering you've caused. You'll be giving the longboard to my daughter for free. Look, lady, I don't own the longboard anymore. Someone else bought it. Then go get it. I know the dean of your university. If you don't deliver the longboard to me by the end of today, I'll get you expelled. Do you really want to lose your chance at having a good job over a longboard? You'll do the right thing or else. I stopped responding because that was absolutely ridiculous. I didn't block the email though, and the next evening I had another treat. I went to complain to the dean. Your time at the university is limited. While I was there, my daughter saw someone riding her longboard today. How dare you sell it? You'll be sending us $500 for a brand new one. After all, you won't be needing your money for tuition next semester. My address is blank. You better deliver that money or else. What's your phone number? Text me at this number when you're coming. Well, that night I went for a little ride and drove by their home. I took a photo of the 2015 BMW 228i convertible in their driveway and posted it on Craigslist for $500. I asked that interested buyers text the entitled mother's number and promptly blocked her email. My friend texted a few days later to ask about the car. Apparently, the entitled mother is responding to everyone thinking that it's me and demanding that they come with the $500 and a new longboard for her little angel, but that she's not selling the car. By the way, the dean never called me to his office, and I graduated without issue. Story number 2. A guy breaks into my car, dies, and somehow it's my fault. I live in the US, but I'm an immigrant from the Philippines. This happened 4 to 5 years ago when I went back home alone for a month-long vacation. I rented a house with no parking spot for a month, and my cousin let me borrow her rarely used car that I had to park on the street. I was only there for a month, so I was almost always out and about meeting friends and relatives to make the most of my stay. One day at noon, I walked out to the car to find the door open and a strange guy sprawled over the driver's and front seat, puke spread all over the dashboard, and what looked like severe nosebleed. I was angry at first, But when I realized the guy had no pulse and was not breathing, I administered first aid and called an ambulance and the cops. I also needed to call a mechanic because the car battery was dead. I later found out that the car alarm went off until the battery died, and I slept through the alarm. I'm a heavy sleeper. So I had a trashed car to wash, a battery to replace, and a police office to visit. Fun. The guy was pronounced dead upon arrival, and initial findings suspected illicit drug use. The cops suspected the guy to be a junkie trying to steal the car, but had OD'd in the middle of it. Apparently, the place I rented was surrounded by slums and known as a hive for illicit drug use and sales. A sad story, to be sure. This being the Philippines, I was adverse to pressing charges. Slow as flip justice system, and who would I even press charges to? And at that point, I kind of felt bad for the guy, and I just chalked it all up as a bad experience. 4 days later, at around 8 p.m., an older couple, claiming to be the parents of the guy who died, with several tannods, which are basically community police, came for a visit. At first, I thought they were there to apologize or make amends on behalf of their son, but lo and behold, they were asking me for money. I was irritated at first, but then I thought money must really be tight, so I tried to be understanding and polite, but it was still a firm no. I understand that a guy died, but it was through no fault of my own. After that, all hell broke loose. The previously calm mother cried as loudly as possible and tried to scratch me. The father tried to grab my shirt and wanted to punch me. Thankfully, the tannods were impartial and herded them away from me, all the while they were insinuating I had something to do with their son dying. I was a bit shaken and genuinely just wanted to get away from there, but I made the mistake of putting that off until the next day. At around midnight, I was awoken to the sound of breaking glass and metal being pounded. They made enough of a racket to wake me up. About 4 or 5 guys were destroying the car and spewing all profanities they could muster. I called the cops and went to stay at my cousin's place. In the end, I had to stay 2 weeks more than I planned. I helped the cops try to investigate my case and paid for the damage incurred on the car. To add insult to injury, I never got my deposit on the house rental back. The house wasn't even damaged or anything. The end of the investigation resulted in 3 people caught for destruction of property and grave coercion. Aside from the profanities, they were also threatening me to pay up. Thank goodness the rental had a sturdy fence. A neighbor also presented themselves as a witness. The last I heard, they also had prior offenses that got stacked on top of my case. The parents were not charged. Story number 3. Neighbor lady is mad I won't let her kids use my pool unsupervised. I just moved into a new place with a pool out back. A neighbor lady comes up to the fence the other day while I'm having a beer and doing some yard work. After the greetings and whatever, the rest goes like this. The people who lived here before would let my kids use the pool in the summertime. They're really sad about not being able to use it anymore. Why guilt trip me? Just ask. Oh, well, I don't mind. As long as you're there, I can't watch them. Well, the last people would watch them because their own kids were there too. They'd just sit out back. Okay, but I can't watch your kids. If they're going to be in my pool, you have to be there. I don't have time. I don't know why you can't just sit there and watch them so they can swim. I had no idea how to respond to this. She caught me so off guard. Now, I think I need to change the lock on the gate because I'm afraid she has a key and will send her kids over alone. I don't have a problem with the kids using the pool, but I don't want to babysit the kids of someone I don't know around water. This is John from /bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to be the first to know when the next one drops, then subscribe and click on that notifications bell. I'd love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends. See you in the next one.